Welcome to Real Crusades History, the Knights Templar series, Part 3, Examples of Templar Military Tactics. The Knights Templar represented one of the most advanced and organized military units of the High Middle Ages. Through rigorous discipline and highly developed mounted warfare, the Templars were able to achieve remarkable gains over their frequently more numerous Muslim opponents, both in the Holy Land and in Spain. Templar tactics developed out of the cavalry warfare of secular Latin knights. The Templars armored both themselves and their horses, then organized their lines into tight formations which could both block the movements of an enemy and be used as a projectile weapon to smash lighter Muslim cavalry. Following are two accounts from medieval chroniclers describing significant Templar victories. First is from 1177, the Battle of Montgisard, in which King Baldwin IV of Jerusalem severely defeated Saladin's much larger army. King Baldwin's own forces were augmented by Templar cavalry. Odo, the master of the knighthood of the Temple, like another Judas Maccabeus, had 84 knights of his order with him in his personal company. He took himself into battle with his men, strengthened by the sign of the cross. Spurring all together as one man, they made a charge, turning neither to the left nor to the right. Recognizing the battalion in which Saladin commanded many knights, they manfully approached it, immediately penetrated it, incessantly knocked down, scattered, struck, and crushed. Saladin was smitten with admiration, seeing his men dispersed everywhere turned in flight, everywhere given to the mouth of the sword. He took thought for his own safety and fled, throwing off his mail shirt for speed, mounted a racing camel, and barely escaped with a few of his men. Notice how the author, who was recording an eyewitness account of the battle, emphasizes the unity of the Templars in charge. This close formation allowed for maximum impact of the heavy cavalry. Our next example is from the Fifth Crusade in July 1219. It was recorded by Oliver, the schoolmaster at Cologne Cathedral. After a long assault, the Muslims crossed the ditch at the point where the knighthood of the Temple were, burst violently through the barriers, and turned our foot soldiers in flight, so that the whole Christian army was endangered. The knights and horsemen of France tried 3 times to drive them back outside the ditch, but they could not. The Saracens within our ramparts broke the entrenched lines of horsemen and foot soldiers and drew up their army. Their voices rose in derision. All their multitudes prepared the pursuit, and timidity grew in the Christians. But the spirit which clothed Gideon aroused the Templars. The master of the temple, with the marshal and the rest of the brothers who were there, made a charge through a narrow exit and manfully put the unbelievers to flight. The Teutonic Order and counts and knights of various nations, seeing that the knighthood of the Temple was in danger, hastily brought them aid through the gates near them. Thus the Saracens' foot soldiers were destroyed and their shields thrown down, except for those whose headlong flight snatched them from their attackers. Thus the Lord saved those who hoped in him, through the courage of the Templars and of those who worked with them, and committed themselves to danger. This passage is interesting because it describes the Templars turning an otherwise difficult situation to the advantage of the Christians through a daring maneuver. Because of their tight organization, the Templars were often able to win significant victories, even when the odds were against them.